Timothy Thomas was a unarmed African-American teenager who was shot dead by the Cincinnati police some years ago. And he was like the 15th unarmed black child, teenagers that had been shot within a 10-year period, I believe. And, my friend Brendan Prendergast had been down protesting the police action outside the police station. And we still believe to this day that the Cincinnati police may have had a hand in having some of the kids down in the neighborhood of Over the Rhine go and attack these people that were protesting. So he was put in the hospital, and he was really in bad shape. His shoulder had been hurt. It was just a mess. So anyway, Brendan and I were walking some weeks later. I mean, we all huddled together at our house, and we had a bucket of Kind Bud to keep us. So all the radicals camped out together. We were in a diverse neighborhood. We had neo-Nazis up the hill, gangsters across the street that had my back. We had made friends when I chased some Nazis out of the neighborhood. And there was a frat house, a house full of illegal aliens. So anyway, we had endured martial law, and then I think it was a few weeks later when they, had the inquest, for the cop, deciding whether or not to charge him. And he got a slap on the wrist, and it caused some tension after that. I had marched, and of course, I put aside any differences that I might have had with the communists, the Black Panthers, the Black Muslims. This is, I'm a human rights activist, and I think more often opposing groups should put aside their differences and march for what is right. But anyway, they were manhandling Brendan, and I got perturbed. They started to do an illegal search on him. They found a flash baton and a set of brass knuckles, and again, it was an illegal search. I mean, flipping somebody off is a freedom of expression. It's not a nice expression, but it's freedom of expression. And we ended up beating that case, when it came to trial. And I had gone in with him to court every time. He had a very good ACLU lawyer, Ed Felsen. And I testified, and my testimony basically is what, turned things around. But anyway, that night when they're searching him, they're going through my IDs to get to the Massachusetts driver's license. Oh, this is an outside agitator, Harvard extension ID. Oh, he's one of those Massachusetts liberals, and then when they got the Navy SEALs, which I wasn't in, but the command I was at was Navy SEALs when I was in the Navy. That's where I had temporary duty to, and I had that. And they cocked a shotgun. I guess they were trying to spook me. And I told them at that point, when this sheriff told me I had to get out of Dodge, I said, listen to me. I said, I'm an honorably discharged, decorated, disabled veteran. I have earned my place at the table. And no podunk little dinky Dalton sheriff is going to tell me where I can or cannot live. You just convinced me to move here. Silence. And I just started walking away. I didn't even wait for permission. And this FBI agent came out with this Polaroid SX70 camera, and he took my photo, and I still have the photo. I managed to get, a friend of mine liberated it. And so anyway, I was walking away, and they had a block party right where we were stopped at the end of the street, and there were the frat house on one side and this group of kids on the other side, and the music had stopped and everything, and they were listening to every word. And this kid came up to me, and he was like, "Who are you? They they take people into alleys and kill them for less in this town. And I said, well, maybe that's got to stop. I said, I'm somebody who's just done putting up with this bullshit. Part of the thing certainly was, it was about a year and a half before that, maybe 2, that I had gotten off of heroin. And I'd had a long battle with it. And I wasn't afraid of being locked up in a jail cell for standing up for what was right. I wasn't afraid of having to go through withdrawal or any of that. And I had had enough. I'd had enough of hiding. I had had enough of feeling less than, and I had had enough of suppressing the inner me that had to get out. And I challenged them. And challenging sometimes has its consequences, as I will speak next time. Thank you for listening. This is Use the Fairy King. I am a shaman, a poet, a human rights activist, among many other things. Thank you again. Have a wonderful